Hey guys, welcome back to Atlantians Turtle. It's Kev here. Today we're going to be taking a little look into Herodotus. Now, according to mainstream history, archaeology, philosophy, whichever bracket you want to put it into, Herodotus mentions Atlantis due to Solon, which we mentioned in a previous video, shares a direct link to Herodotus through his mother's side. And as you can see on the screen, Wikipedia, Atlantis is a fictional island mentioned in an allegory on the hubris of nations in Plato's, which is one of Plato's dialogues, and ancient map based on Herodotus' description of the world circa 450 BC. So let's go and take a little look at this map. So here is the Herodotus map, So as you can see, we have the known world to Herodotus before our eyes right now. And it's quite detailed, to be fair. This area has been well charted out. Throughout the Greek mythology, there's demigods and gods and kings throughout all these parts of the known world. Now, I'd just like to draw your attention down to this section towards the left of the screen. Oh, can I just go back up there? Which is, you see Atlantian and Atarantian. Now, there's two circles, so you could hazard a guess that these two circles are either separate or part. Wait there, let me rephrase that. Atlantean, this could be the circle as we see just above the word Atlantean, and Atarantian could be associated to the circle to the right of the word Atlantean. Now, the interesting thing is that there's also the ridge here, this mountain range, or a ridge that you call on a map, and it's called Atlas. I can't make out the rest of that word, but it definitely says Atlas. So I went in, and I'm quite familiar with some of Herodotus' work. I'm not a master on it, but I thought I'd heard him mention something about it in the past. So let's look for it over here. So we find here Inquiries by Herodotus, book 4, translated by Shlomo Feldberbaum. Cool name. So we've got installment 26. So I'm not going to go and read through all of this, because this is basically Herodotus describing different sections on the map, which, if you'd like to look into that, it's an interesting read. Crack on. But we're going to fast forward to, say, round about here. So we have, it's basically talking about the Gramantians. Oh, sorry, we'll go from the top there. So we have, then from the Gramantians, at an interval of another 10 days' way, is another hill of salt and water, and human beings are settled around it, whose name is the Atarantians, with an R, as you can see there, who are the only nameless, let's put this back on, who are the only nameless ones among the human beings that we know. For theirs altogether is the name Atarantians, but to each of them no name is given. Those at the sun's rising over the curse, and in addition to that use all kinds of shameful abuse. A little bit of rhyme there. In that it burns and wears them down, the human beings themselves and their country. Then afterwards, at an interval of another 10 days, another hill of salt and water, and human beings are settled around it. And near to that salt is a mountain whose name's Atlantis, and it is narrow and circular every way, and is spoken of as something quite so high as for it to be not possible to see for oneself its peaks. For at no time, in fact, do snows abandon them in either summer or winter. That is a pillar of the sky, save the natives. After that mountain, the human beings came to be named, as indeed they are called the Atlantians. Further, they are said to neither feed on anything animate nor see dreams, which is quite fascinating. Indeed, up to those Atlanteans, I am able to recount the names of those settled down on the ridge, but to respect what's after that, no longer. Anyhow, the ridge extends through up to the Pillars of Hercules. And what's outside of that? There is a mine of salt, and on it an interval of 10 days' way, and human beings who are settled. Moreover, the houses of all those are built out of salt lumps, for those spots in Libya by now are rainless, as the walls, being salt, would not be able to remain if it were raining. Further, the salt in the very place, both white and purple in its looks, is dug deep and inland of that ridge. In respect to what's towards the south and into the interior of Libya, desolate, waterless, beastless, rainless and woodless, is the country of moisture. There is nothing. So, excuse me, that was a bit of a read, that a bit tricky. So they have it. He discusses Atlantis and the Atarantians, but let's break it down a little bit. So he discusses a ridge, which we see here. So if we go back to the Herodotus map, we can see there is a ridge, and we do see Atlantean and then the Atarantian. So on the ridge, he discusses indeed those Atlanteans. So we can break it down and say Herodotus is probably talking about this ridge and this people, this Atlantean people, whose names he can recount. Well, up to a certain point, he says. What did he say exactly? Indeed, up to those Atlanteans, I am able to recount the names of those settled down on the ridge, but in respect what's after that, no longer. So he was able to recount the people who lived upon the ridge of the Atlanteans, but I'm guessing the Atlanteans either fractured out and he knows the names no longer, or they disappeared, who knows. That's all hyperbole. So let's go and look at the actual area on Google Maps. So here is, let's zoom out a little bit. So here is the map of Mauritania, and don't forget Herodotus. Here's Libya in northern Eastern Africa, and it's just a small section of the map, but if you look on Herodotus's map, the whole area pretty much designated as Libya. I'm guessing the whole North African area. So we go back to the map. So that's just for reference on the scale. And then if we go down, we zoom in, we obviously see the Eye of Mauritania. If people are interested, I have done a previous video, I'll put a link, where we actually go around the whole area of Mauritania looking for basically higher elevations. If this runaway here, all these lines on the map, are believed to be the runoff from some kind of great flood, then this could potentially be it. Now if you look, like you say, we have a ridge representing the eye of the north of the Eye of the Sahara, which is represented in what is spoken of. If I can just find where it said that again. Anyhow, the ridge extends to the Pillars of Hercules, and what's outside of that, and there is a mine of salt on it, an interval of 10 days away, blah blah blah. So again, go back to the map. As I discussed in that previous Atlantis video, the first video, the second one isn't as good as the first one, if I'm being honest. We actually found more stuff, but I should have done a better video. But this area here is potentially the Pillars of Hercules. So again, Anyhow, the ridge extends through up to the Pillars of Hercules. This is alleged to be the Pillars of Hercules. Here is the ridge. Here is the map. It's the ridge. Atlantians, Atarantians, as you see previously at the start of this text. So we know 10 days interval, and then there was another 10 days, and then another 10 days. So we're talking a 30-day walk from this area to this area. Let's look on the maps again. How long do you think it'd take you to walk? I mean, to be fair, if you look at the map as well, I mean, it looks like it cuts off at this angle. Basically where the moisture starts again on the map is where the map actually seems to end. So yeah, Gadamantia, which you say is in this area of Algeria. Is this a 30-day walk to the ridge? I don't know. Seems like it could be further than that to me. That's not the point. We have the ridge, we have the height of the Sahara, which potentially could be Atlantis. It's one of the leading candidates. So there we have, guys. I just wanted to put a little video together just to tie up some of the visuals of like the things I've discussed in that part 1 of the Atlantis video. Hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe. Stick around, there's plenty more stuff to come, and hope you enjoy your day. Take care now. Peace.